one. We are live on Facebook. Hello.
Hello. Nice to be here with you.
And you as well. You are Doug Schrage. Is that pronounced correctly?
That's right. Yep.
You are the chief, the fire chief of the University Fire Department.
Yep. I'm the fire chief at UAF.
What does being a fire chief mean?
I am the director of the fire department. I run the fire department. We have battalion chiefs who run the day-to-day operations and oversee the crews in the field. I'll join in for big serious events, but mainly I make sure that the men and women on the trucks have all the hose and fuel and all the things that they need to get the job done.
Your job is literally managing people's lives and property and businesses and family and safety. There's a lot of pressure for what you do.
Yeah, well, it's not. There's no hyperbole there. Yes, that is true. The decisions we make on a day-to-day basis can have a very profound impact on the outcomes of the people we serve, which is the UAF community, the broader University Fire Service area community, and indeed all of the interior.
And you have recently started to include a new tool that will help you do this job. And I think the name of the tool is PulsePoint. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right. So here's the problem we have. Fairbanks, all throughout Fairbanks, we have really good emergency medical services. So ambulance crews and fire trucks that can get to the scene of an emergency and help take care of your medical emergency. A few years ago, 2013, we had a teenager go into cardiac arrest basically right across the street from the fire station here at the Fine Arts building. And because a bystander was there willing and able to perform CPR, and there was an AED, an automatic defibrillator in the building, that young man is alive and well today. We were right across the street. You can't get any closer than that, and we still couldn't get there as quickly as a bystander. So what we have, PulsePoint, is a tool that connects CPR trained individuals, citizens, with patients that need CPR until the time that the ambulance crew arrives and can take over with more advanced measures. That's what PulsePoint is.
And CPR is a way it's a pretty easy technique to learn. And when you see someone having an issue that you can help with, you could jump right in and you can help. You could be that person that helps save someone's life.
Yeah, that's exactly right. CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Really, we could just call it cardio resuscitation, because what the science is showing us is that people who have learned to do CPR in the past have learned how to do rescue breaths. You do a certain number of chest compressions, and then you use a mask and you blow into the mouth of the patient. What the science is showing us is in the very early stages of the cardiac arrest that taking the time to do those breaths is detrimental to the outcome of the patient. And so now what we're teaching is just hands-only CPR. So you simply approach the patient and you begin doing chest compressions. And if you do it without stopping for 3 or 4 minutes, however long it takes the ambulance to get there, we dramatically improve the patient's outcome of the probability that they're going to survive this and walk out of the hospital alive. So it's hands-only CPR these days.
Can you learn that do you have to go to a class that's at a first responder station? Can you learn by watching a YouTube video? How best can you learn the technique?
Yeah, all of the above, really. So the AEDs, these devices like this defibrillator, they're all over campus. We have over 50 of them on campus, and they are so simple to operate. They have voice prompts that tell you what to do and when to do it. You don't even have to have a class. And the same is true with CPR. If you want to get on YouTube and look for a training session, a 3 or 5 minute training session on how to do chest compressions, you can do that. You can also call up the University Fire Department here at UAF, or better yet, go to our website, uaf.edu/fire, and we have a link there to sign up for CPR classes. It's for UAF affiliates now, so students and employees of the university. Red Cross teaches classes. Other fire departments in the area teach classes. Interior Region EMS teaches classes. There's lots of ways to learn. We think the best way would be to have your university firefighters come by and give you a class.
So PulsePoint, you open up the app, something's going wrong, you see someone in distress, someone you might be able to help. You can open up the PulsePoint app and you can find someone in the area and you can say, hey, come over and help this person?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So you download the app, PulsePoint. You can just go to the App Store, or you can go to Google Play, whatever operating system you have. Download PulsePoint Respond. It's a red icon. There's a yellow one too, but download the red one, and it'll get on your phone. It'll recognize that you're in Fairbanks. You check the box if you know CPR. You don't have to, but check the box if you know CPR. And immediately you'll start seeing all the fire department's activity. So you'll get insight into all the calls that the fire department is going on, just for your own curiosity, and so you have a better sort of connection to your local fire department. If you check the box that says you know CPR, whenever anybody within a half-mile radius of you goes into cardiac arrest, and as soon as somebody dials 911, in the background, the computer system is going to alert everybody within a half mile that knows CPR on their app. And the app will give you it'll make a loud noise. It'll say CPR is needed. You swipe it. It'll show you where you are on a map and a satellite image of the direction you need to walk. Just like when you call for an Uber, you know, it says here you are. It says go to the pickup point. Same thing. It'll say walk left, go straight, and it'll take you right to the patient, and it'll show you a picture of the nearest AED and how to get there.
It sounds like that could be the difference between being alive and not being alive, by having someone who is close by to help. Would you say it is at that level? Is this the difference between life and death for someone?
Yes, unhesitatingly. Other communities that have installed PulsePoint in their community, and by the way, Fairbanks is the first Alaskan PulsePoint connected community. Other communities that have implemented PulsePoint have seen dramatic improvements in their cardiac arrest survival rates. But not only that, they've seen stronger engagement of their citizens. The citizens have a better understanding of their fire department's needs, their activities, and it's just a better partnership overall. When somebody goes into cardiac arrest, every minute that passes represents approximately 10% decrease in the probability of survival. 1 minute means you lose 10%. So that means the average response time for an ambulance around here is about 6 minutes. That means by the time, if we wait for the ambulance to get there, you're down to around about 40% chance of survival. PulsePoint will alert users within a half mile even before the ambulance gets dispatched. Even while the dispatcher, the 911 call taker, is still notifying the ambulance where to go and the type of call, the people in that vicinity have already been notified. And so you can get to the side of the patient and stop that rapid precipice of survivability.
So it could be your neighbor, someone who lives like right below you in a residence hall, someone who works in an office just in the building next door. That it could be, you could help out those people.
Okay, yes and no. You raised an important point that people do need to know about. For privacy reasons, PulsePoint will not notify citizens of medical emergencies in other people's homes. It'll only notify people in a public place. So if you're in a vehicle, you're at a bus stop, you're in a shopping center, restaurant. So unfortunately, no. But PulsePoint also has means for verified responders. That is professional firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, and so forth, to enroll as verified responders. Verified responders, such as myself, we do get notified of cardiac arrest in private spaces. And we already have about 100 verified responders in the Fairbanks area, and it's all off-duty firefighters and EMTs.
And we have seen so many times on news coverages throughout the years of, even though you're off duty, you're never really off duty. You are always out there looking to how you can help the members of your community.
Yeah, we've had UAF employees suffer cardiac arrest right here on our campus at UAF in the few years that I've been working here. And unfortunately, that was a time when we didn't have PulsePoint and we didn't have a lot of AEDs around. Now we have over 50. So the chances of somebody surviving is dramatically improved, and it's only going to get better the more people that download the app and learn CPR class, learn how to do CPR.
What's the risk of someone who may have just gone to one class and they think, I know CPR, and then something happens and they have to jump into action? Is there a risk involved? Can they make things worse?
No, that's the thing, is you cannot make it worse. There are lots of reasons that people hesitate when taking action. One of the reasons is that level of intimacy with a person you don't know is very uncomfortable for people to be able to start pushing on their chest, or the thought of putting your mouth over someone else's mouth. Thankfully, with hands-only CPR, that latter problem doesn't exist anymore. But another deterrent is that people are fearful that they won't know what to do or that they could make it work. And that's not the case at all. You cannot make a patient worse. The worst that can happen is the patient will wake up and say, hey, stop pushing on me. I'm not in cardiac arrest. I'm
very glad to hear that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, sometimes people are fearful that they will forget what to do. So right on the PulsePoint app, when you get the alert, it has a little button you can tap. I'll see if I can show you, and it will show you how to do CPR. It'll just give you a quick reminder of how to do it, just like this. And it even has the cadence, and it'll tell you everything that you need to do. It has a similar thing for how to do an AED if you need assistance on that.
You get the alert, you're like, oh my gosh, that's really close by. And as you're going over there, you can get the quick review, give yourself the confidence that you need to jump in. What if there's several people gathered around and someone's already doing it? Can two people go at the same time? Would that make it any better? Or do you just sort of step back and be like, they've got it? Like when you're calling a ball that you're going to catch during a sports game.
Yeah, well, it's hard to do chest compressions continuously for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes or 6 minutes till the ambulance arrives. And so it is helpful to stand in the wings and be prepared to take over as the person doing chest compressions becomes fatigued. Plus, you can provide a lot of encouragement. Say, you're doing a great job, keep going, this is really good. You can also look at your app and monitor their tempo and make sure they're going as fast as they should be. Most people go too slow. There's other things that people can do to help. Somebody can run to the nearest AED and grab it. People can go and hold doors and wave in the ambulance crew or the fire crew when they arrive. So there's lots of things that people can do.
How long is too long? Like if you're out of town, you're at the lake, or you're hiking and something goes on and you get the alert on your PulsePoint, you head over there, but you might be 15 or 20 minutes out of town. How long can you do pulmonary resuscitation?
Well, there are a few cases where somebody performed CPR for hours, like in the neighborhood of 2 or 3 hours, and had a successful outcome. The probability of that is very, very low. Most rescuers are going to be fatigued to the point that they won't be able to continue at some point. The idea behind hands-only CPR is you're filling the gap from when the 911 call occurs and from when the ambulance crew arrives. Outside of that environment, the longer that you perform CPR, normally the probability of survival is going to continue to deteriorate with time.
Yeah, 10% every minute. That is a steep cliff.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say, as a first responder, someone who has been out there in these life and death situations and faced with it, what's a tip that you would give to someone, just as a personal thing to help keep your mind clear and your focus sharp?
Well, stay focused on the fact that you're providing an important service that the community values, and try not to be emotionally attached to your patients. That's how Firefighters can pull up to the scene of a horrific scene, a car accident, or a house that's on fire, and not be rattled. It's because we teach ourselves, we learn not to become attached to the situation. And a saying that we say to ourselves is, "This is not my emergency. We didn't create it. We're here to help." And so having that mindset, I think, is something that people would benefit from.
Anything else that you want to add? So PulsePoint's a free app. Is there ads or anything involved with it? Like, do you have to like swipe past some ads to get at the actual information?
Nope.
How have you found the app to work with yourself?
Oh, it's been great. The firefighters love it. And because it works in the background, the firefighters in the station actually are starting to get noticed of the calls that come in even before the house bells go off, because it's that fast. So the citizen responders get notified even before the ambulance crews get dispatched. So two things. One is download the app and get some CPR training. You don't have to be certified. You just have to be willing to perform chest compressions. Check the box that says you want to do CPR. The second thing is let us know about the AEDs that you have. We know of about 178 AEDs in our community, and we've verified every single location. And so that way, when a cardiac arrest occurs in the vicinity, the PulsePoint users will be notified of the location of that AED. But we know there's many more. So what you can do, there's two ways you can add your AED. One is go to our website, uaf.edu/fire, and there's a link there to let us know about the location of your AED. You just it's a Google map, and you put the pin on the map where your AED is, and give us a little description of it, as you know, like it's in the front lobby of our gas station or whatever, and then we'll send a fire chief or a firefighter over to verify it, and then your neighbors will be notified when it happens. Now, for those who are really into it, you can download the yellow app, the PulsePoint AED app. And so people who want to go out and scout out AEDs, it'll enable you to do that right from your phone without having to go to your computer.
What a great way to do sort of community teamwork, really reaching out to the people who live there. They're out there every day. They're seeing the stuff. They're seeing their neighbors and their friends, and they can really work with you. They can be almost a first responder themselves.
Yeah, it's a real partnership. PulsePoint recognizes that the emergency medical services can't do it on our own. We just can't simply be by the side of a patient every time, all the time. And that's why we need you. So yeah, it's a partnership. That's exactly right.
Thank you very much, Chief Schrage. Thanks for everything that you do, and all of the people that work with you, and all first responders in Fairbanks, for making our community the safest place that it can be.
Well, thank you for helping me to spread the word.
Thanks.